Have you ever walked into a room feeling completely fine and then suddenly felt emotionally drained for no obvious reason? Maybe it was a tense meeting, an angry customer, a stressed out partner, a negative coworker, or even 20 minutes of scrolling social media. And somehow their emotional state became your emotional state. Well, that's because human beings are emotional tuning forks, and most people don't realize how much emotional energy they absorb throughout the day. And welcome to the Mindset Lab, where we turn insight into action and patterns into progress. Now, if you're new here, I'm Coach Jose, and this channel is all about practical strategies to help you master your mindset, regulate your emotions, and create a healthier, more intentional life. And today we're talking about something incredibly important in modern life: emotional contagion. Because your nervous system is constantly responding to the emotional energy around you. And the problem is, most people don't realize how much emotional input they're absorbing all day long. But once you understand that, you start becoming more intentional about protecting your mental and emotional space. All right, so let's step into the lab. Human beings naturally absorb emotional cues from other people. We mirror emotions, tone, facial expressions, body language, and energy states. Your nervous system is constantly scanning the environment, asking, am I safe right now? Now, that's why emotions spread so quickly in groups. Right? It's almost like emotional Wi-Fi. You may not consciously notice the signal, but your nervous system still picks it up. That's why one stressed person can change the energy of an entire room. Why one angry customer can affect an entire staff. One anxious leader can create tension across a whole team. And honestly, social media has amplified this dramatically, because now we're emotionally exposed to outrage, fear, conflict, comparison, anxiety, and negativity almost nonstop. Now, here's the important thing. The brain is designed to prioritize threats. That's survival wiring. Your ancestors survived by paying attention to danger, not by ignoring it. So negative emotional states naturally grab our attention faster than calm or neutral ones. That's why tension spreads fast, why panic spreads fast, why anger spreads fast, and anxiety really spreads fast. That's why it's easier for one person to start a fire in a room than it is for one person to calm everybody down. And this is why emotional environments matter so much, because repeated emotional exposure trains your nervous system over time. So how do you know if you're absorbing too much emotional energy? Well, here are a few common signs. You feel emotionally exhausted after a certain conversation. Your mood changes dramatically around certain people. You carry other people's stress long after interactions end. You feel mentally heavy after scrolling online. You struggle separating your emotions from other people's emotions. You constantly feel responsible for fixing everybody else's emotional state. And this is especially common for helpers, leaders, caregivers, parents, healthcare workers, and highly empathetic people. But here's the important distinction. Empathy without boundaries becomes emotional flooding. Look, you can care deeply about people without emotionally drowning alongside them. So that brings us to the question of, how do we stop absorbing every emotional energy wave around us? Well, not by becoming cold, but by becoming more aware. And one of the best ways to do that is using what I call the emotional filter method. So step one is to notice the shift. Ask yourself, did this emotion start with me? Now, that question is powerful because sometimes what you're feeling, it isn't entirely yours. Awareness creates separation, and separation creates the ability to choose. Step 2, name the state. Label what you're feeling. Is it anxiety, tension, frustration, overwhelm, irritation? And this actually helps neurologically because naming emotions helps reduce emotional intensity. Instead of saying things like, I am anxious, shift towards, I'm experiencing some anxiety right now. That small language shift creates psychological distance. Step 3, separate compassion from absorption. Now, this is huge. You can listen, you can support, you can empathize, and you can absolutely care deeply about people without absorbing their emotional state as your own. Because compassion does not require emotional self-destruction. And honestly, a lot of people are just never really taught that. Step 4, reset your nervous system. Sometimes your nervous system simply needs a rest. That might mean stepping outside, taking a walk, taking a few deep breaths, reducing your stimulation, sitting in silence, grounding yourself, or just temporarily disconnecting from emotional noise. Because calm is not weakness. Calm is regulation. And a regulated nervous system makes clearer decisions. Remember that protecting your peace is not selfish. It's nervous system management. Your environment influences your emotions, your attention, your stress levels, and your mental state. And the more intentional you become about what you repeatedly expose yourself to, the healthier your emotional patterns become over time. All right, so if this resonated with you, make sure to check out this week's full episode of the Personal Mastery and Growth podcast, where we go much deeper into emotional contagion, nervous system regulation, emotional environments, and the psychology behind how emotions spread between people. And if you want deeper reflections, mindset tools, and weekly challenges designed to help you apply these ideas in real life, come join me over on Substack at coachjosejohnson.substack.com. That's where we continue the conversation beyond the podcast and the YouTube videos. And if this helped, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today. And remember, you do not have to absorb every emotion around you in order to care about people. Awareness matters. Boundaries matter. Recovery matters. And protecting your peace, it's not selfish. It's nervous system management. And it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great.